Hi students. Yesterday we discussed about the valency bond theory. As per the valency bond theory, we set some postulates of valency bond theory, or this valency bond theory is also called as orbital overlapping theory. And as per the valency bond theory, atomic orbitals containing unpaired electrons in their valence shell will try to overlap to form a covalent bond. Generally, unstable atoms, valence shell electrons containing atomic orbitals, and those unpaired electrons of atomic orbitals, unpaired electrons containing atomic orbitals overlap and forms a covalent bond. In this type of overlaps, we are giving different types of overlapping, and in this SS overlapping, we gave SS overlapping, SS overlapping I gave, and SP overlapping, and there is a PP overlapping. SS overlapping is given by the hydrogen, SP overlapping, for example, HCl, PP overlapping is chlorine or oxygen or nitrogen. Okay, and here, basing on the overlapping types, if you are taking, these are the main three types of overlapping. And atomic orbitals overlapping based on the way here, this is p orbital, this is another p orbital. If they are overlapping along the internuclear axis, then that is called as a sigma bond. The overlapping along the internuclear axis, here this is the overlapped area, and if they are overlapping along the internuclear axis, then it is called as a sigma bond. If the atomic orbitals are above and below the internuclear axis overlapping, here this is the internuclear axis, and here this type of overlapping is called as pi bond formation. Atomic orbitals overlapped above the axis or below the axis, that makes the pi bond. Here this is forming a pi bond. So in this sigma bond and pi bond, we give light differences. So these are the sigma bond, pi bond differences. We can say the first one is a linear or axial overlapping. We said internuclear axis overlapping, that is forming sigma bonds. Lateral or sideways overlapping will form pi bond, and SPDF orbitals forms sigma bonds. In this, pi bonds formed by PDF orbitals only, not S orbitals. S orbitals never form pi bonds, and this is a strong bond, and pi bond is a weak bond compared with sigma bond. Okay, and this exists individually in between two atoms. The first bond formed is sigma bond, and this not exist individually, it is only present in between two atoms after the sigma bond formation. Means, suppose if there is a carbon carbon, in this first bond formed is always a sigma bond, and then the bond formed is a pi bond. So, sigma bond can exist individually, but pi bond doesn't exist individually. It is formed only after the formation of a sigma bond. And next, hybrid orbitals. HO means hybrid orbitals forms only sigma bonds. Hybrid orbitals always forms only sigma bonds, whereas unhybridized or pure orbitals forms pi bond. What are hybrid orbitals or unhybrid orbitals? I will give later in the concept of hybridization. So hybrid orbitals always form sigma bonds only. Next, electron density is more along the axis and in between the two nuclei in a sigma bond, and the extent of overlapping is more, so it is a strong bond. And along the axis, no electron density. Above and below the axis, electron density is present. Because of above and below the axis electron density, generally what happens is, here this is a pi bond overlapping type, and because of this what happens is, the electron density is above and below, and so there is a some repulsive forces also because of this pi bond, so it becomes weaker, and extent of overlapping is also less. Okay, so that is the difference between sigma and pi bonds. Here SS overlapping forms sigma bond, SP overlapping, PP overlapping also forms sigma bond, whereas PP overlapping and DP overlapping only, SS and SP overlappings will never form a pi bond. Okay. Next thing, the bond strength of a bond depends on the extent of overlapping, we said. So bond strength, please remember, bond strength is directly proportional to extent of overlapping. So when the overlapping is more, then the bond strength is more. Whenever we are taking PP overlapping is always more stronger, SP overlapping is more stronger than SS overlapping. It is a common thing. Okay. P, PP overlapping, SP overlapping, SS overlapping. Whatever it may be the number of shell, whatever it may be the principal quantum number value. Means for example, 2p, 2p orbitals are taken and 2s, 2p orbitals are taken and 2s, 2s orbitals are taken. Then what is the overlapping order which has a stronger bond strength more means 2p 2p is more stronger than 2s 2p stronger than 2s 2s. Similarly 3p 3p overlapping is stronger than 3s 3p overlapping which is stronger than 3s 3s overlapping. Okay, so this is a strength of overlapping, and here if the principal quantum number value is the same, principal quantum number we will see in the atomic structure chapter, or we can say simply number of shells. This is a 1, 2, 3. This is n value 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. We can say now. Here this 2 means this is the n value. The principal quantum number value or n value. Here n value, if n value is same, please remember, if n value is same, it is the order of strength of bond. Means between 2p 2p orbitals, stronger bond is formed than 2s 2p orbital, which is stronger bond than 2s 2s orbital. If n value is different, suppose this is another case, if n value is different, if n value is different, then please remember always 1s overlapping is always stronger. One, as the n value is different, 1s here, wait, as n value increases, as n value increases, bond strength decreases. Bond strength decreases. Okay, so suppose n value increasing, then bond strength decreases whenever we have different n values. The overlapping orbitals are having different n value, then the bond strength decreases. I will give you the order. This is the bond strength order. Bond strength order 1s 1s. Always remember 1s is having a strongest because of the small size, it has a high extent of overlapping. So please remember the strongest bond is formed by 1s 1s. S orbital generally spherical, it forms a weak bond. S orbital is non-directional. Non-directional orbitals means they form generally weak bond. Generally they form weak bond, generally. But here 1s is stronger. But remaining orbitals, if you are taking p orbital, d orbital, f orbitals, p orbital, d orbital, if orbitals are taken, they are directional orbitals. Directional orbitals. Why we can say directional orbitals? Here we are writing px orbital, for example. I am writing p orbitals, we are having three orbitals, px orbital, py orbital, pz orbital. Then how we can represent px orbital? Here this is for example, this is x-axis, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, for example. Then the two lobes we can indicate along the direction of x-axis. This is indicating px orbital. So we can't get a lobes in py orbital direction or y-axis direction. We can't get lobes in the z-axis direction. So in the z-axis direction, suppose this is z-axis. In the z-axis direction or y-axis direction, we can't get the electron density. And here the electron density, all the electron density is present along the x-axis only. So this is called as a px orbital. Okay, this is the electron density which is present, electron dot structure like. Okay, this is electron density present in x-axis direction. Similarly, py orbital means then the electron density is present in y-axis direction only. Similarly, pz orbital means electron density present in z-axis only. So they are directional orbitals, whereas s orbital if you are taking, for example, s orbital means it is spherical shaped, mean the electron density is present in spherical shape, and here this is the electron density of s orbital. Whenever the electron density is taken, suppose I am writing this is x-axis. In the x-axis direction we have electron density, in the y-axis direction we have electron density, and in the z-axis direction also. So x-axis, y-axis, and in the z-axis, all three axis direction we have the electron density for s orbital. So s orbital is considered as a non-directional orbital and it forms a weak bond. PDF orbitals are directional orbitals, they form strong bonds. They form strong bonds because overlapping is only in that direction, and so the extent of overlapping is more. Means, for example, I am writing another orbital, p orbital. This is, for example, px orbital. Another px orbital is also overlapping. In this direction only the electron density is present, and these orbitals overlap strongly, and so it is forming a sigma bond. So this is the electron density of another orbital, and this is the called as a sigma bond formation, and this is a directional bond and strong bond formation occurs. Okay, and in this 1s orbital is the strongest one, and next 1s2p and next 1s2s. See here, n value 1s2p 1s2s is taken here, and next this is we can remember very easily 2p 2p 2s 2p and 2s 2s, and then 2s 3p 2s 3s. First you are getting p orbital because we said now p orbital is having more and then this is the order. So in this easily to remember means first 1s always stronger. Bond strength order how you can remember easily means 1s is strongest one. Next is 1s2p, and similarly here also we got 2s3p. So 1s2p and then 1s2s. After that 2p 2p 2s2p 2s2s means pp sp ss. After that, what we are getting? 2s, 3p, and 2s, 3s. And then 3p, 3p, 3s, 3p, 3s, 3s. This is the bond strength order for sigma bonds, and for pi bonds also we have the bond strength order I will give. This is the pi bonds bond strength order. So a pi bond formed between 2p orbital is always stronger than a pi bond formed between 2p 3d orbitals than a pi bond formed between 2p 3p orbital than a pi bond formed between 3p 3p orbital. Because of extent of overlapping and size of orbital, we are having that type of bond strength. So that is a bond strength order for sigma bond and for pi bond. So please remember this. See this question. If x-axis is the internuclear axis, then give the bond formed, give the type of bond formed, give the type of bond formed by the following orbitals overlapping. By the following orbitals overlapping means one s orbital and px orbital are overlapping. What type of bond is formed? What type of bond? Either it is sigma bond or pi bond. Tell me. So s and px orbital overlapping. Here I am taking s orbital. This is s orbital. Px orbital means this is px orbital overlapping. So this is overlapped area. So generally this is the nuclei and this is nuclei for example, and this is the internuclear axis, and this is suppose px orbital and x orbital is the internuclear axis. X axis is the internuclear axis. So in the x axis the overlapping is occurring and the bond formed is always sigma bond. So what is the bond formed here? We can write it as sigma bond. So any sp overlapping means always it is a sigma bond. I said already ss overlapping and sp overlapping means it is a sigma bond only. It never be phi bond. It is only sigma bond. Okay. And here next px orbital overlapping. So px orbital overlapping means how the px orbital overlapping gives. Okay. Just we will see. Here this is a px orbital, okay, and here and this is the px orbital of another compound, another atom. So here the overlapping is occurred and a bond is formed. So this is the nucleus and suppose this is a nucleus for example, and then it is the internuclear axis and this is x-axis and px orbital and this is px orbital. Then what happened? In the px orbital, along the internuclear axis, the overlapping occurred. So what type of bond is formed again? Sigma bond. So the axis, the internuclear axis is x-axis and the orbitals are also having their lobes along the nucleus because they are px orbitals, and so the bond is always formed is a sigma bond. It is also a sigma bond. Next, p by orbitals. Here it is a px orbitals means we said, but p by orbitals. For example, internuclear axis means what? X axis only. Means this is the internuclear axis. X axis they gave, this is the internuclear axis. And here y axis means perpendicular to this now. So py orbitals means the orbital's electron density is above the plane and below the plane. Here, this is the py and py orbital. Why? X-axis is the internuclear axis. One axis is x-axis, the another axis is y-axis. Here, this is the y-axis. So here, this is the y-axis we can say. This is y-axis, and for this is the y-axis. So this is a y-axis. It is y-axis, and this is y-axis, and this is py orbitals. So the electron density is in the y-axis, then only py orbital we can say. And in this, if the overlapping occurs, what happens? Sidewise overlapping or linear overlapping? Axial overlapping is possible. Huh? No, because the lobes are not in the axis. So they are opposite to the axis or perpendicular to the internuclear axis. So this is internuclear axis, above and below the internuclear axis we have. So what type of bond is possible? Pi bond. So here we are getting pi bond for this. And same na pz also. For example, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and the z-axis means I will write here this is z-axis. So here we are getting z-axis like this. I will write here this is x-axis and this is y-axis. I will write smaller. So x-axis, y-axis, and this is the z-axis. So this is a z-axis and this is x-axis and this is y-axis. And the orbital is present in z-axis direction. And another orbital, suppose another atom is there, here also x, y, z. And the orbital is present along the z-axis only. So this is x-axis, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So the overlapping occurs between these two. The z-axis overlap, here linear overlapping is not possible, only lateral or sidewise overlapping. So here also what type of bond is formed? Pi bond is formed. Next, in between px and py. So please remember carefully, this is important. In between px and py, what type of bond is formed? px py orbitals they gave. One atom px orbital, another atom py orbital. So now I am taking one atom here. This is a px orbital, means here the px orbital. This is the px orbital of one atom. Okay, because this is x-axis, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis, and second atom py orbital is required. So here second atom I am taking py orbital. So here this is a x-axis and this is the z-axis. So x-axis direction is this one, z-axis direction is this one. Sorry, py orbital direction is this one. So this is a py orbital and this is px orbital. So py orbital and px orbital means, please see here, this is px orbital. My blue colored marker is px orbital. Py orbital is this one. So whenever there is a lobes in this direction and for py orbital in this direction, is it possible to overlap? Is it possible to overlap? Suppose after overlapping I am writing here, this is the lobe of one atom and this is the lobe of another atom. So second atom's lobes is like this. Okay, so this is the second atom's lobe. Is it possible? This is overlapping. Here electron density is present here and here. This electron density is present here. So there is a no bond formation. Here this is a no bond formation occur. I am arranging this. So whenever we have orbitals of different direction, then no bond formation occur. Px, Py, how it is possible? One is going in one direction, another orbital electron density is another direction. So the overlapping will not occur. If it is present like this, okay, sidewise overlapping. If they are present like this, okay, linear overlapping is possible. One is present like this and one is present like this. So this is not possible. And Px, Pz also, no bond formation. And Py, Pz also, no bond, because they are perpendicular orbitals. Perpendicular orbitals will never form say bond. So this type of orbitals mixing will not give say covalent bond formation, will not result in the covalent bond formation. Okay, please remember this.